I think my mother expired in 1998. That means that I didn't have opportunity to learn any more from her abundant life. Nevertheless, I thank God that she gave her to us. She taught us many things. At the time we were burying her, I was surprised that I continued to learn. Although it was my last lesson, but I was perplexed by what I saw. Something I didn't tell you in the previous lessons. My mother was a great tea maker. In fact, if she had opportunity to be cited by the big hotels, maybe she could work as a chief chef. Particularly, she was very good in making tea. During her funeral, the villagers, the friends, the aunties, and many others who knew her, when the time came to cry, they started to cry, citing how great she was. In fact, the first woman in the village who appeared from the gate cried, citing that my mother was a great person, a great tea maker. She cried so emotionally that we were overwhelmed with emotions as her children. I witnessed my brothers and sisters bend their heads and remove the handkerchief from their pockets, and they started to rub out tears. The second woman came. She was also citing how great she was, how she enjoyed tasting my mother's tea. There is a tree outside our house. She pointed there and said, that is the tree where we used to sit and enjoy your great hand of making tea, and it used to trickle down deep into our nerves. Now I was getting impatient, getting surprised that all these women, they are only citing tea. No one came to the podium to console us. I bent to my brother. I asked him, all these women are interested in my mother's tea. That one came. That was a young lady, probably must have been a college student. She cried so poetical, citing that she has passed through school and she has not come across a cook who cooks tea like that one of my mother. Now I was facing reality, the reality of life. In fact, I learned that it is true what Norman Caston said. The greatest tragedy in life is not death, but what you let die inside of you while you live. No wonder no one of these people were crying bothered about my mother, because she was lying in the casket someplace. They were all worried. Where would they benefit from the great talent and skill inside my mother? Because she expired with it. Since then, friends, I learned a great lesson. And the lesson is, deep within you lies slumbering powers. Powers that could astonish you more than you thought you possessed. There are many people walking around with great talents. Talents that if they exploited can catapult their lives into a level that they never imagined to attain. One great speaker, Zig Ziglar, said, we were designed for accomplishment, engineered for success, and endowed with the seeds of greatness. Yes, my mother had great seeds of greatness. Yes, including you. The seeds that you have inside of you, if you were aware of it and have a glimpse to them, you will be surprised. In this regard, please join me to learn this great lesson. In fact, sometimes when I think about them, I get overwhelmed with emotions. Which teacher can teach you? Even in her death, she continues to teach you. This one I experienced from my mother, and I thought I must tell the story. Please, all of you, wherever you are, there is something that God puts inside of you. Because before God created you, He finished something for you to accomplish. And you must identify that something My mother identified her skill of making tea. What is yours? There are many challenges facing people. Many of them. People continue grappling, complaining every time. I think after listening to this particular lesson, the live lesson of my mother, I believe you are going to change your perspective about yourselves, because the success is within. I wish you get across the book I call The Acres of Diamond and read how one man wandered across the world looking for diamond, later only to discover the person who leased this land. He found the diamond at this backyard. The person who left finally committed suicide and threw himself into the ocean. But the one who leased this land where there was diamond continued to enjoy the fortune. How do you develop your skill? There's one person I love, although he passed on, Jim Rohn. He says if you work hard on your job, you make a living. But if you work hard on yourself, you make a fortune. I think what he meant was, if you can work hard to bring out the best out of you, you will see fortune. Not just a fortune, alley of fortunes. Please, take notes of all the lessons you have learned from my mother. Reflect upon them. If you do in good faith, your life will be the change. Will never be the same again. I feel this one, a minute after this one, as your second half, you're gonna win the match. Now, you may ask yourself now, where do we get all these timeless principles of success? We operate a trust we call LEAP Trust. LEAP Trust means Learning Annex Program Trust. If you contact us, you will be able to learn timeless principles of mentorship. Maybe you have a challenge, and we have a website. Personally, I have a website, josephnyonchama.com. You'll be able to read numerous articles, pasting some of the writings on my mother's principles that I have learned from her and many other great leaders. Learning on my articles is not confined on just ordinary people. Even great men and women who serve in society, in the country and across the globe, can learn from these articles. And if you do, your mind will change. I still repeat what Oliver Wendell said: man's mind stretched by new idea will never regain its original dimensions. Please, the life is short. Learn these principles. Leave a mark on the earth, because sometimes many people continue to grapple. As Jim Rohn sometimes says, never wish things were easier. Wish that you were better. You can be better by learning these principles. Never wish that there were lesser problems. Wish that you have more skills. You can learn more skills from these timeless principles. Never wish that you have less challenge, but wish that you have more wisdom. You can get this wisdom from learning from our articles, from accessing to us, and from learning from the lessons of life of my mother. Thank you.